I'm getting eaten alive. All these mosquitoes. Something interesting happens as you get older. You start to care a lot less about what other people think. In your younger years, you're just trying to get it right. You feel like people are watching you, judging you, noticing the things you do. And it has a huge impact on the decisions you make. And then you realize something. Most people aren't paying much attention to you at all. And that creates less pressure, less overthinking, less performing. You stop worrying about how things look, how things sound. Things just get a lot simpler. You start doing things because you enjoy them, not how they look. You have less need to impress. You don't really care anymore. It's for you. Let me give you a dumb example. My beard. I've been growing this beard for 3 months now. It's coming along nicely. Last time I tried to grow a long beard, I stopped. Ooh, I hear an animal. I stopped because somebody told me it looked stupid. I no longer care. In fact, yesterday, I had someone tell me that it made me look old. I am old. I'm growing the beard for me. I want to see what it'll look like when it's about 4 inches long. That's for me. I honestly don't care what anybody else thinks. Goofy little example. If I had left the camera on for 3 seconds longer, you would have seen the elk that I just scared, and who just scared the crap out of me. I came around the corner and he was in the bush about 20 feet, saw me, lost his mind. And I'm just glad he ran the other way. I was looking for a tree to hide behind. That was fun. I wished I'd left the camera on. Anyway, it's a very different way to live. It's not that I don't care. I still care what those close to me think, to a degree. There's just less noise, less performing. I'm not living for others. It's a very different way to think about the things that I do. I just ate a mosquito. I'm not that hungry. So, I've tried in the past to get it right in everybody else's eyes, to do what I thought others would expect of me. And I've come to realize how very little of that actually mattered in the long run. And it has really changed the way I live my life and the way I want to live my life. Like, it sounds silly, but I've thought, well, if I did the things that everybody else seemed to like to do, maybe, I don't know. I don't really know where I was going with that. I don't think it's something you consciously decide one day. I think it's something that just happens over time. And honestly, it's a bit of a relief. Never really been one to base all my life decisions on what other people thought. You know, but there were the big ones. I got married because that's what you're told you're supposed to do. I had kids for the same reason. I bought a house because that's what you're supposed to do. Don't get me wrong, I don't regret any of that. But those were the big ones. And now I'm looking at a major change in my life and in the way I want to live my life. For me personally, I'm not gonna say you're wrong if you disagree with me here. But for me personally, life is getting very expensive. I dump so much of my income into a mortgage, into property taxes, utilities, insurance, maintenance and repair. And you know, I talked about this in my last video, but I'm at the point now where I don't care what anybody else thinks. It's not what I want anymore. I'm not even really sure I wanted it to start with, but I didn't really know what to do. And I didn't really stop and think about it. I just went along with everybody else. Now, no, I don't want that. I want my freedom back. I don't want to be tied. Oh, somebody just went outside my back door, probably the dogs. I don't want to be tied to this anymore. This maintaining the status quo. I believe the dream we've all been sold, it's turned into a nightmare for me. That sounded harsh. I don't want to sound like a whiner here, but recent events have really opened my eyes to what do I want. In case you haven't noticed, this is my rambling section. I do this every now and then. But I really do want to keep working. I like working. My job gives me that sense of, I don't know, accomplishment in a professional way. My job is both physical and mental. So at the end of the day, I am usually thoroughly exhausted from both. So I'm good there. But this whole thing of maintaining a home and having the toys and having the stuff that I don't need, stuff that isn't useful and doesn't bring me joy, it's become very heavy in my life. My last divorce, I became heavy into minimalism. You know, not to the point where I was living like a monk. But I only had what I needed and what brought me joy. And, you know, I had my kids living with me half the time. So there was a little bit more, but it was necessary. Now, I've got all that stuff back. It just crept in. So there are going to be some changes going forward. I'm Chris. This is the Seasoned Journey. I hope that rambling didn't scare you off. Sometimes I go off the rails. If you're new here, welcome. Subscribe for more of this. I try and do this every week. Give it a share, give it a like. If you're not new, welcome back. Glad to see you. Leave me a comment if you have any questions, or if you have an idea of something you'd like me to discuss or think about while I'm out doing my thing. See you on the next one.